Masters of disguise, camouflage kings. Nature is full of liars. Not the tax-evading kind, although who knows about raccoons, but the kind that tricks eyes, noses, and even brains. Welcome to Masters of Disguise, Camouflage Kings, where flowers look like monkeys, bugs look like sticks, and predators get punked daily by nature's greatest imposters. Chapter 1. The Orchid Mantis, the deadly flower impersonator. Meet the orchid mantis, Hymenopus coronatus, one of the most outrageous frauds in the insect kingdom. At first glance, you'd swear it was a delicate pink and white orchid flower swaying in the breeze. But that's exactly the point. This mantis has evolved legs shaped like petals and a body patterned with rosy hues that mimic orchid blossoms. It doesn't just sit there looking pretty, it weaponizes its beauty. When unsuspecting pollinators like butterflies and bees approach, expecting nectar, the mantis strikes in lightning-fast ambush. It's the equivalent of walking into a cupcake shop and getting eaten by the frosting. Studies have shown that the orchid mantis is so convincing that pollinators sometimes prefer it over actual flowers. Imagine being so good at cosplay that you outshine the character you're imitating. That's the orchid mantis, nature's catfish champion. Chapter 2. Stick insects, walking twigs of doom. If subtlety were an Olympic sport, the stick insect would take gold. These insects, also called phasmids, don't just look like twigs. They are twigs with legs, thin, jointed bodies, bark-like patterns. Even the way they sway mimics branches in the wind. Some species even take it up a notch with behavioral mimicry. If disturbed, they'll freeze in place or drop to the ground, lying motionless like fallen sticks. Others have wings with bright colors hidden underneath, which they flash suddenly to startle predators. It's like watching a log suddenly scream, "Boo!" Stick insects can reach absurd sizes too. The giant stick insect of Borneo can stretch over half a meter long. Imagine walking through a forest, brushing past a branch, and realizing the branch blinked at you. Congratulations, you've just met a professional liar. Chapter 3. Leaf insects, flat-out deception. If twigs aren't your thing, try leaves. Leaf insects, Felidae, are so leaf-like it borders on absurd. Their wings resemble veined green leaves, complete with fake blemishes, spots, and even bite marks to look convincingly munched. When predators approach, leaf insects sway like a leaf in the breeze. Some even change color slightly with the seasons, just like real leaves. Imagine predators trying to grab dinner only to discover they've spent 5 minutes staring at actual salad. That's the genius of camouflage. It wastes the predator's time until the insect slips away. Chapter 4. The Dracula Orchid, monkey see, monkey smell. Camouflage isn't just for animals. Plants have tricks too. Enter the Dracula Orchid, Dracula simia. Look at its flower, and what do you see? A furry little monkey face staring back at you, complete with eyes, a nose, and even a mouth. But this orchid doesn't stop at looking weird. It smells weird too. Instead of producing a sweet floral aroma to attract bees, Dracula orchids release a scent that mimics ripe mushrooms. Why mushrooms? Because their pollinators are fungus-loving flies. For a fly, that smell is the equivalent of fresh-baked pizza. They land, get tricked, and accidentally pollinate the orchid. So here's a plant that not only catfishes with its face, but also gaslights flies with fake mushroom perfume. Nature really said, why not mess with everyone? Chapter 5. Butterflies that pretend to be leaves. Sometimes the simplest disguise is the best. Take the Kallima butterfly, also called the dead leaf butterfly. With wings folded, it looks exactly like a dried brown leaf, complete with mid-rib veins and spots mimicking decay. You could pick up a pile of leaves in the forest, and one might suddenly fly away. The beauty is in the detail. Some even mimic bite marks from caterpillars. It's a masterclass in camouflage, proving that sometimes survival isn't about standing out, but vanishing completely. Chapter 6. The Owl Butterfly, Eyes That Terrify. Now for mimicry with flair. The owl butterfly doesn't hide, it intimidates. When resting, the underside of its wings reveals enormous eye spots that resemble owl eyes. Birds thinking of snacking suddenly hesitate. Is that dinner, or is it a predator ready to eat them? This is known as Batesian mimicry, where a harmless species mimics something dangerous. In this case, a gentle butterfly channels its inner owl, and predators decide not to risk it. Sometimes bluffing is better than fighting. Chapter 7. The Atlas Moth. Snakes for wingtips. One of the world's largest moths, the Atlas moth, has a wingspan up to 25 centimeters and a deadly fashion statement. The tips of its wings resemble snake heads, complete with scales and eye-like patterns. When threatened, the moth flashes its wings and wriggles them, making the snake illusion even more convincing. For a predator, that's a big no. Birds, lizards, even monkeys back off. It's like a moth carrying its own security guards in the form of fake cobras. Chapter 8. The Ant-Mimicking Spider. Arachnid Identity Theft. Spiders already terrify plenty of people, but some species take mimicry to a new level by pretending to be ants. These ant-mimicking spiders have elongated bodies, fake antennae created by waving their front legs, and movements that perfectly copy ant behavior. Why ants? Because most predators avoid ants. They bite, they sting, they come in swarms. By dressing up as ants, these spiders get a free pass through hostile environments. Some even live inside ant colonies, sneaking meals while perfectly blending in. It's like putting on a security guard uniform and robbing the bank from the inside. Chapter 9. The Stone Plants. Plants that play dead, literally. Camouflage isn't all about movement. In the deserts of Africa, plants called lithops, or living stones, have evolved to look exactly like pebbles. Their round, flat-topped leaves blend with the rocky ground, making them nearly invisible to grazing animals. These plants don't just avoid being eaten, they practically vanish. If you ever walk across a dry African plain, you might be stepping over an entire colony of plants you can't even see. Now that's commitment to the art of disguise. Chapter 10. Why camouflage works. From mantises to orchids, from spiders to butterflies, the art of disguise in nature boils down to survival. Camouflage helps prey avoid becoming lunch and helps predators sneak up on unsuspecting victims. Sometimes it's visual trickery. Other times, it's chemical smells or behavioral mimicry. What makes it so fascinating is how detailed and specific these adaptations are. An orchid mantis doesn't just vaguely look like a flower, it fools even expert pollinators. A deadleaf butterfly doesn't just blend in, it mimics leaf veins and bite marks. Evolution isn't sloppy here, it's an artist with centuries of practice. Conclusion. Nature's costume party. So let's recap our cast of imposters. The orchid mantis, flower cosplay assassin. The stick insect, walking twig illusionist. The leaf insect, salad in disguise. The Dracula orchid, monkey-faced mushroom faker. The deadleaf butterfly, master of invisibility. The owl butterfly, intimidation bluff. The Atlas moth, snake impersonator. The ant-mimicking spider, eight-legged con artist. And the stone plants, the ultimate vanishing act. Each one shows us that in the game of survival, looking like something you're not is sometimes the smartest move of all. So the next time you walk through a forest or garden, look twice. That twig might be a bug. That leaf might be a butterfly. And that flower smiling at you, it could be planning your doom. Nature's greatest tricksters remind us that life isn't always what it seems. It's often a lot weirder, a lot cleverer, and, occasionally, a lot funnier.